I was proud, I think, because his head came just below my ear. We were walking along, and Joey was making dirty wisecracks, and we were laughing. Odd to remember, for the first time in so long, how good I felt that night, how fond of Joey. When we came back along those streets, it was quiet. We were quiet, too. We were very quiet in the apartment, and sleepily got undressed in Joey's bedroom and went to bed. I fell asleep, for quite a while, I think. But I woke up to find the light on, and Joey examining the pillow with great ferocious care. "What's the matter?" "I think a bedbug bit me." "You slob. You got bedbugs?" "I think one bit me." "You ever have a bedbug bite you before?" "No." "Well, go back to sleep. You're dreaming." He looked at me with his mouth open and his dark eyes very big. It was as though he had just discovered that I was an expert on bedbugs. I laughed and grabbed his head, as I had done God knows how many times before, when I was playing with him or when he had annoyed me. But this time, when I touched him, something happened in him and in me which made this touch different from any touch either of us had ever known. And he did not resist as he usually did, but lay where I had pulled him, against my chest. And I realized that my heart was beating in an awful way, and the joy was trembling against me, and the light in the room was very bright and hot. I started to move and to make some kind of joke, but Joey mumbled something, and I put my head down to hear. Joey raised his head as I lowered mine, and we kissed, as it were, by accident. Then, for the first time in my life, I was really aware of another person's body, of another person's smell. We had our arms around each other. It was like holding in my hand some rare, exhausted, nearly doomed bird which I had miraculously happened to find. I was very frightened. I am sure he was frightened too, and we shut our eyes. To remember it so clearly, so painfully tonight, tells me that I have never for an instant truly forgotten it. I feel in myself now a faint, dreadful stirring of what so overwhelmingly stirred in me then. Great thirsty heat and trembling, and tenderness so painful I thought my heart would burst. But out of that astounding, intolerable pain came joy. We gave each other joy that night. It seemed then that a lifetime would not be long enough for me to act with Joey, the act of love. But that lifetime was short. It was bounded by that night. It ended in the morning. I awoke while Joey was still sleeping, curled like a baby on his side toward me. He looked like a baby, his mouth half open, his cheek flushed, his curly hair darkening the pillow and half hiding his damp round forehead, and his long eyelashes glinting slightly in the summer sun. We were both naked, and the sheet we had used as a cover was tangled around our feet. Joey's body was brown, and was sweaty. The most beautiful creation I had ever seen till then. I would have touched him to wake him up, but something stopped me. I was suddenly afraid. Perhaps it was because he looked so innocent lying there with such perfect trust. Perhaps it was because he was so much smaller than me. My own body suddenly seemed gross and crushing, and the desire which was rising in me seemed monstrous. But above all, I was suddenly afraid. It was borne in on me. But Joey is a boy. I saw suddenly the power in his thighs, in his arms, and in his loosely curled fist. The power and the promise and the mystery of that body made me suddenly afraid. That body suddenly seemed the black opening of a cavern in which I would be tortured till madness came, in which I would lose my manhood. Precisely. I wanted to know that mystery and feel that power and have that promise fulfilled through me. The sweat on my back grew cold. I was ashamed.